Today we're going to figure out gears. Gears are a useful machine that is basically just a wheel with teeth. These teeth allow the gears to turn together. Let's play around with our RumbleLab gears to see if we can understand what's going on. First we'll start with two gears of the same size. When we stick these two gears together, we see that they both rotate at the same speed. It takes the same amount of time for Bob to spin around once as it does Stuart. But the one thing to notice is that the left gear turns one direction and the right gear turns the other direction. Now, what if we use a big gear and a small gear? Here the big gear is 2.5 times bigger than the small gear. If we turn the big gear one time, the little gear turns 2.5 times. Kevin is going to get dizzy quick. Let's try a gear 5 times smaller than the big gear. Wow, that's interesting. If we turn the big gear one time, the little gear turns 5 times. And if we turn the little gear 5 times, the big gear only turns 1 time. Interesting. I have an idea. What if we use 3 gears? I bet the first big gear is going to turn at a normal speed, and the second big gear is going to turn really fast. Wait, what? They turn at the same speed? It looks like the only difference is they both now are turning in the same direction. Now let's get creative. Let's put 2 gears on one shaft. We'll have the red gear drive a yellow gear, and then the yellow gear will drive a green gear because it's on the same shaft as the yellow gear. Then that green gear will drive the blue gear next to it, which will then drive a green gear that's on the same shaft as the blue gear. Wow, that seems confusing. Let's just see what happens. Wow, one turn of the big red gear makes Bob's green gear turn 10 times. I hope Bob really likes merry-go-rounds. And then just for fun, let's see what happens if we make the green gear drive a little yellow gear. Oh goodness, I think Kevin is gonna be sick. With every turn of the big red gear, Kevin's little yellow gear turns 40 times. Wow! The one thing that's really interesting is while the big gear makes the little gear turn really fast, the big gear is really hard to turn. This is because it's another form of mechanical advantage. With gears, we're able to exchange force and distance. If we drive the little yellow gear, we can get lots of torque out of the big red gear, but not a lot of speed. If we drive the red gear, we don't get a lot of torque, but we get a lot of speed. Let's use this to give a tiny high-speed motor the torque it needs to do something like crush a can.